Um, Very good afternoon, students, and good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, students. For today's session of Cambridge, we have Anju ma'am with us. Anju ma'am, you can proceed with your class, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Kunal. So, good
Okay, ma'am.
afternoon, everyone. So, hope you had your lunch and uh, with present for with an energized mindset to understand what is happening in the workplace and more with regard to communication also. So as I emphasized yesterday on the importance of communication skills in organizations, so today we'll be dealing with the practical aspects or the implications of a written communication skill in organizations. So before we move on to the topic as such, because today I have two topics to deal with. One is communication with related to employability skills, that is communication correspondence at workplace, and the other one is preparation for employment, that is more about employability skills. So yesterday we dealt with the preparation for employment, so today we'll be dealing with more or maybe uh, more into the skill aspects of and that is the skill aspects with regard to employment along with correspondence at work. So correspondence at work being maybe a topic which you need to give a great importance. So that is a difficult one to comprehend, or I would say that it is more complex. So I thought of having that first. So with the saying, let's eat the frog and then move on to the other topic, right? So, good afternoon once again. So happy to be with you for on yet another day, and we'll start off. So, this would be the first part of the training would focus on the importance of correspondence at the workplace, the mechanics of effective business correspondence, and effective email writing or email etiquette. So before moving on to the topic, let me give you a background of this. So provide that is about the importance of workplace communication, and yesterday also we just touched upon those areas. What exactly is workplace communication, for example, in the workplace? So after this introduction I'll change the slides. Okay, so I thought this preliminary introduction is required for you to understand the topic in detail or in depth. That's why. So which is not present in the slides, so I thought maybe for first 5 to 10 minutes let me focus on those aspects also. So because taking into consideration the relevance and importance of the topic. So if we have in the workplace, when we start working, there are different forms of communication that are present in the workplace. So you have emails, then group meetings are there. Then for that you need to prepare documents, especially the agenda, the minutes. That is also a written form of communication. Then you have brainstorming sessions, group discussions will be there. Then project tasks, then project discussions will be there, phone calls, video calls, then presentations, chats, then internal messaging system, depending on the kind of communication system or communication channel the organization uses, right? So all these are crucial both for the employers and for business. So the employees working in the organization, it is important, and as well as it is important for business success. And how to make it effective, that is what you're going to learn now. Then there is previously it was more of face-to-face communication, but now communication has become remote. So what is the extent or what is the importance of communication has in this that is while communication being remote and at the same time the difference from face to face. and above all using the digital platform. So we are moving, or we are using more of digital platform, and how it is enhancing, or how effective it is, and the type of how it enhances the communication in the workplace. These are the aspects which I wanted to tell you. So effective communication, so workplace always demands effective communication. So when there is transparent and effective communication, it boosts the morale of the employees, right? So that in turn will affect their that is more of engagement will be there. So communication channel is very open. They are that is transparent and open. So everybody receives the communication. So there is no assumptions or no misleading or misinterpretation happens. As a result, people are more engaged in their work and more productive also. Then another thing is that this again enhances the business profitability, then stronger relationship within the employees as well as to the external. There is external communication also. It becomes stronger towards the customers or the clients. Then improves employee motivation. So people get to know about the career opportunities, then they get recognized, they feel empowered, they take part in learning activities, continuous learning activities, and then these are the benefits. So as a result, again, there will be fewer team conflicts, and this. So successful organizations or successful companies, so they that is their success depends a lot on communication. So the benefits are these. So people are motivated, and the company name also gets reflected, and that is the company reflects the company culture also. So those are the things. So again, as we were dealing yesterday, we were focusing on the different channels of communication, different types of networks that exist in an organization. So network of communication. So what are the type of that is what networks are there? So usually that is apart from the formal, there is upward and downward, then horizontal or vertical, and diagonal form of communication. There are other networks also. How communication or channels of communication flows in an organization. One is the wheel form. So here the leader will be at the center, and there is always communication between the leader and the manager and the other members. So it's like the leader at the center, like the wheel at the center. There will be a center point, and there will be equal communication or effective communication with all the members or all the departments maybe. So that is an effective method, because solutions can be, that is whenever they find that is they want solutions, it can be arrived at easily. But then there is the chain form. So chain form means that is in a hierarchical. So it exists in a hierarchical structure. So, for example, in the police or in the army, even in the civil services, this chain communication exists. So messages are transmitted from one end to the other. That is usually from the top to the bottom, and usually it is one way only. And sometimes, as it is one way, there is a chance that, okay, it trickles down from the top to the bottom. There are chances, or there are possibilities of even misunderstanding, confusion, etc. And sometimes it may be less accurate also, but still it is a method of communication, or it is a channel of communication which advanced. So for the first one was wheel, the second one was chain. And yet another form of network is the Y network. Y, the letter Y. So it moves from, that is vertically, that is messages move vertically between subordinates and supervisors, right? So usually it follows the hierarchy, and it is less centralized also. Then we have the circle pattern. That is nobody, that means circle pattern means there is no leader at the center. Whereas wheel has a center. Leader is at the center. Whereas in the circle pattern, there is no leader at all. Everybody, whoever is the member, can form or has the same authority and power to influence. And here, being a circle influence, that is in the circle network, communication flows rather slowly. And most often the communication process or whatever is being communicated get distorted also. That means you don't get the correct picture. It gets distorted. The information gets distorted. And finally, you have the star pattern. So where all the members are equal with the same amount of power and influence. So, and there is greater communication or participation from the members, and it need not be face to face like that always, but still examples are, that is where you forward memos, then formal reports, formal letters, all these maybe are useful in are more in star format of communication. Okay, so with that introduction or with that background, let's move on to the topic now. So workplace, here earlier, so it is digital community, that is in the workplace we have the formal communication. It's very formal, as I told you, and it's very digital also. So written or digital communication between two or more parties or parties in the work environment is called correspondence at work. So it can be internal correspondence, it can be to the external correspondence too. So whatever is being communicated within the organization, that is, it has a potential to bring business, and at the same time it enhances the image, the culture of the organization. At the same time, it is capable of destroy if not taken care of properly, or if it is not given due importance, if there is neglect in that, there is likelihood of destroying its image also. So the ability to communicate effectively in spoken as well as written is an important skill. So you talk to customers, you talk to clients, you talk over the phone, you answer customer queries. That is, sometimes it can be in an email format, sometimes it through the telephone. So how well do you answer? So are you clear in your communication? So spoken communication is important. Then again, while sending the mails, whether it is for internal communication or even written communication, internally or externally, it is important. So the thing is that, okay, employees often have creative ideas. People have creative ideas, but how to bring it out or how to let others know and how to effectively communicate to others so that the others also understand what you're trying to say, that is important, or that is very critical also in organizations. So what are the type of correspondence materials that are, or what is the type of correspondence that are available in an organization? You have email, you have meetings, so you have this a written form, there is agenda, you have the minutes, then you have the formal letters, memos are there, notes are there, applications are there, leave applications are there, then contracts are there, messages are there, notices, for example, then promotional materials like brochures, company promotional materials like marketing materials like brochures will be there, even the logos, everything communicates. Then instruction manuals will be there, then a leave policy documents for the employees as well as the working of the organization, then research papers, reports, policy documents, all these are the type of communication formats available in the organization. So notices, leave application. So a leave application, there will be a format, but still, okay. So you are going on a long leave. The duration of leave is more. So medical leave or a paid leave, earned leave. Then so the different types of leave. So for each of these, you have formats, and it is necessary that you follow the particular format. So there are formats available. Sometimes there are no, that is the template or the format may not be available too. So memos are there, notes are there. These are the different types of written communication, most common type of written, and even reports. So the organization, maybe there is a report, maybe at the reopening, or a report on somebody has visited and given you a feedback. So it is reporting, or reporting for that is to, yeah, for reporting also, or formal reports is also a form of communication. So how effective business correspondence work? That is what you need to know. For any form of communication, we need to understand the audience. So to whom am I speaking to, or to whom am I writing to? Who is the audience? Who is the reader? What is the purpose of my writing? What is the why am I writing this letter? Is this really required? On what grounds am I writing this? And why is it really necessary to send this now or write this now? You need to think about it, and then know the purpose of writing. So the objective of writing, and be aware of the desired outcome. So when you speak, you may not think about it, but when you write, you should be very cautious. So if I am sending a letter like this, if I am using harsh words like this, if I am sending a complaint like this, how would it affect the people? How would it affect the organization? How would it affect the that is employees in the organization or the department? How would it affect the productivity? All these are important. For example, the organization has decided on that is on a change in schedule of working. So instead of starting at 9, maybe the organization is planning to start from 8:30 onwards. So for this, the manager sends a letter or a formal it is, and then it is displayed on the notice board, or it is an email, so that all email communication is received by all the employees. So what impact does it make? So there might be some employees who would be against it. So be aware when a person of authority sends a written form of communication, always be aware of the consequences or the desired outcome. So what are the ways by which we can enhance the communication process in an organization? So one is what is the format that I'm using for, then what is the content that I'm planning to write. Think clearly about what is the reason for writing. Do you have specific details? So you cannot mention anything very vaguely in the letter or in the format which you choose. So do you have the specific details, of the people involved in it, or the figures involved in it? What is the content involved in it? So all this needs to be thought clearly. So think clearly, adopt the you attitude. Use the right format and language, and edit your draft carefully. So that is using the right format. So you are sending, that is you have placed an order for something and you haven't received, or you have received a damaged product, so you are writing a letter. So as a customer, it is necessary that, okay, or it is quite certain that you will be, that is, you have the right to ask. So but how are you how are you writing, or how do you ask for the money back, or how do you tell them about the product that has been damaged, like that. But on the other side, when the company replies to you, make sure that the company has to reply more politely, because so they cannot so they know that okay, you have bought your money is important, but at the same time make sure that they value you too. So that so it is these kind of sentiments that is being displayed through the you attitude. So you are important, the customer is important, the other person is always important. So use the right format and language. Then edit your draft carefully. Proper editing is also required. So once you have decided to write, or what format will I take, what channel will I choose also. That means the channel, the channel which I choose is more important. What channel will I use? So channels of communication. So will I be using an email, or will I be using, will I be, that is, or is it through any other means of communication? So shall I be sending them an individual mail, depending on the requirement. So understand the importance of the channels of communication within the organization. So how people communicate. Decide on what channels are used to complete the tasks. So it can what channel of communication. So do I use? So I need to inform about a meeting. So what do I use? That is there is an important meeting coming up. So I want all the members of of a particular department to be convened at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So I would be sending them a mail, or I can also send them, that is, I can put a notice on the put up a notice on the notice board. So both ways can be. So which is effective and which is more important? I have there is liberty to decide on it, depending on the importance of the topic that I'm going to convey. So decide on what channels are used to complete the various tasks, because always that is, it is important that you use an appropriate channel for for a task to be communicated, because sometimes information can, that is the information can mislead, or it can be misinterpreted too. So so before we move on to the 7 C's of communication, so let me just quickly take you through the characteristics of effective communication. So one is that we understand that it is very objective. That is, formal communication means it is very objective, not subjective. So it is very formal. Subjective means from it not personal. So that is, subjective means personal. So it is not personal, but it is very objective. It is necessary that we need to maintain the interest level. So people should be, or whoever the receiver should be in a position to understand or be interested in reading or in listening to the method or mode of communication. There should be a level of sincerity. You should be straightforward or open in your communication. Sincerity level is important. The language, of course, should be simple. Clear, brief, and precise communication is expected. Then, when you're saying something or when you're writing something, make sure that, especially in business communication, do not assume anything, but at the same time, you are required to give the full facts. Give the complete facts. Do not hide anything from the people, or either from the employees, or either from the clients, or either from your customers, or the people outside, the stakeholders. Whatever is important has to be communicated in a straightforward manner and give full facts. Assume nothing and be polite, and be polite in your words, use of words, as well as even the tone of writing. Do not be aggressive, do not be demanding. Be very polite in your tone and words. Use the right words. Do not use words that affect the emotions of an individual or which will trigger the emotions of an individual. So in that way, it will reap only negative benefits. So, or negative effects. There will be more. So make sure that you respond in a positive manner, and then through politeness as well, but with a clear tone, with a clear tone and clear use of words. That is important. So written communication can take that is written communication. When you send something to another person from an organization, it takes a legal form also. So those documents, those manuals, everything, it is written in objective format and it has a legal form also. Understand that. So it's it becomes a legal document. It can be used whenever required. So it reduces the chances of misunderstanding. Apart from reducing the chances of misunderstanding, that is, these written words are permanent. So it is a document also. That is why I told you it remains as a legal document. You can use it for future reference. You can use it at a future point of time. Then when you write, remember the ABCs of writing. What are the ABCs? So here, before discussing the 7 C's, let us take a look at what these ABCs are. A stands for accuracy, accurate writing, correct writing. B means brevity. Be very specific and clear in your writing, brevity. C means clarity, the clarity with which you frame your thoughts. It's not writing, framing your thoughts and articulating it through the words. Then it becomes the content in your mail or letter. So clarity in writing, clarity in speech. So accuracy, then brevity and clarity. These three are important while writing or while communicating. Then let's move on to the 7 C's of communication. To make the communication more effective, we use this technique or this approach is being used. So the 7 C's are: one is completeness, clarity, completeness, conciseness, consideration, correctness, courtesy, and coherence. So let's deal with them one by one. So clarity is choosing the right words. What is the purpose? Why am I writing this? Why am I using this tool to write? What is the purpose? Why am I making this presentation? So when you write, why am I choosing this form of communication? So using precise words. So words that are familiar and easy. So thus you can bring about clarity. Use words that are familiar to the person on the other side also. Use effective sentences. Use effective paragraphs. Let the paragraphs be very clear. Effective sentences. Effective sentences and paragraphs can be used. Next one is completeness. Provide accurate information to the reader. All necessary information. Do not hide anything. So the matter or the content is complete or full. Sorry. Then the next one is Conciseness, concise. So when conciseness means conveying the message using the fewest words, precise words. Avoiding wordy expressions. So use a jargon or use words that are familiar to the person on the other side or the reader. So include those materials that are relevant. Avoiding repetition. So by these ways by which you can be very concise. So that is communicating the message using the most precise or the fewest words. That is being concise. So avoiding filler words. Like, for example, like. They are all. So instead of maybe communicating the matter clearly, we use these filler words also. So that also consumes or that also takes the space. So actually it is not necessary. So try to manage or communicate effectively using the precise words or the exact words or the fewest words. So if you know that, okay, with the fewest ways or the fewest words that information can be transferred so that the other person understands it clearly, use that. Then avoid repetition also. So always remember, time is precious for the person on the other side, even if it is not precious for you. So they will not have enough time, or they may not spend enough time to read through your content. So do not use repetition or make it boring. Then consideration. So that means consider the person's interest. When you write, consider always the reader's interest. Consider the target. So who is the target audience? Who is the target group? So to which group am I communicating? Then the you attitude. It is you and not I or a we. So they're individual persons or those individual people matters. Then correctness. Correctness means correct grammar, correct punctuation, correct spellings. Accuracy in figures. So you are conveying a figure. So let it be accurate. Coherence means logical. Coherence, it is very logical. That is, all points are connected. So when you write an essay also, see, when a reader reads that, so the reader feels that, okay, the ideas are well connected, right? So you divide them into paragraphs and you'll have a good introduction, you will have a good completion also, or a conclusion also. So make sure that your ideas or whatever you want to communicate are very clear, precise, and coherent. Coherent means logical. Then show courtesy. So express courtesy. So thank you. Then again maybe phrase statements of accuracies. So it creates a tone in writing. Sincerity. It is appreciative. Respect the time of the other person. So all this comes under courtesy. So be thankful for their time. So they are spending time, they are putting some effort. So why should they read? So package in such a way that it is readable. The person, or it arouses the interest of the person on the other side. So that is creating a tone of writing. That is also important. So these are the 7 C's. That is 7 C's which I wanted to tell you. So follow these while writing. So go through these 7 C's and bear in mind that your writing also follows, and your speech also follows these 7 C's. Next one. Moving on to writing effective emails. So what is the importance of email or email writing in an organization. That is what you're going to learn. So according to a study conducted by McKinsey Global Institute and International Data Corporation, reading and writing of emails takes up almost 30% of persons' working time, people's working time. So hence it is referred to as tools, right? So the average traffic of work emails a person gets is that is in most corporate organizations is said to be a daunting number. So people will be getting a lot of mails. They have to reply to the mails. And attention span, what about this? Some are to be considered. It may be from the vice president, or it may be from the chief manager. So you have to show respect to that also, the mail that you get. So the average traffic of work emails or in most corporate organizations is said to be a daunting number, between 80 to 100 mails a day. So this means that you must be considerate of a recipient's time and attention span. So it is necessary that you read the information and reply if possible, or else you can put it in the group mail so that it reaches the person also. So understand, so before moving on to the next topic, which is email etiquette, understand that written communication is a prized skill in organization. Yeah. So one ought to have exceptional written communication skills, and one must know the grounds of email etiquette. So email etiquette, what are some of the tips which we can use? One is to remember to write a suitable and what is the subject. Okay, you are going on leave, or there is a presentation, there is a seminar, or it is a meeting. So maybe what is the so it can be a month, it can be of the monthly meeting. So monthly meeting for the month of July or the month of August, you can write. So what is the topic? Or you are sending a report. What report is it? So the report name should be there. So always start with an appropriate subject line. So keep the message also direct and focused using the you attitude and approach. So keep the message very simple, always very direct and focused, because the person on the other side is important. To whom you are writing is important. Always open that that is letter. It can be a mail or the 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 material that you're going to write. It should be very proper. Write with a polite salutation. So to whom are you writing? Is it the principal, or is it the headmaster, or it is the local chairperson? Is it to the manager of some other firm? So remember to write that is the clear subject, polite salutation, subject line, the salutation, then use crisp and short sentences. So you don't have to elongate, or you don't have to stretch your email a lot. So use that is very short and crisp sentences, as well as paragraphs. Use a positive tone when even you're communicating negative feedback. So use a tone which is positive, and maintain suitable space between paragraphs to ensure that the email is easy on the reader side. So have a visible font. Use a visible font that is clear to the reader. Use bullet points when required. Maintain a suitable space between paragraphs. So if there are too many points to be mentioned, you can use bullet points. So maybe you are sending the figures. By the end of March will be that is the figures during the during the quarterly period. So use bullet points whenever required. That is another thing. So all these are simple, but do we follow this? That is why the purpose of so in practical that is in practical situations, it is very rarely that students that is when they write, they give importance to these aspects. That is why it is being reiterated again and again. So please understand that you have all the things ready when you write. Maybe the name of the customer. So if you address the person by the name, they will appreciate that. So try to understand the name of the person, or try to understand maybe even if you do not know, or it can be had from others who are working. So they'll be able to tell you also. Maybe those who have joined earlier or before you joining will be able to tell you that. So whatever be the material, make sure that you use a proper, that is, it should be very proper and specific. So a subject line which is very clear, then what is the content, then proper salutation to whomever you are applying for or writing the letter for. Then remember the tone of writing. Use polite words. No, not that is your letter or what your correspondence should not reflect an angry tone or an angry style. So let it be simple. Let it communicate the real matter. So if you do not feel like sending that information, you need not add that. So do not irritate the person on the other side and use the you attitude. So you'll get appreciated. Next one. So what tips can be continuing with the tips? So while writing formal emails, it is necessary that we follow, that is, we need to be, you need to stick on to that formality. So no fancy color, that is, or colorful fonts to be included. It can be in black and white only. So avoid fancy and colorful fonts. Avoid using text message like great for great. For you in the place of for you. See that? So those abbreviations or acronyms which you alone know should not be used in formal emails. You have to write that. And these days when the written skill has come down, the students make a lot of errors also. So make sure that you read and reread your mail or and see to it that it is error free, and then send it to the other person. So it is do not use all capital letters. So if you use all capital, it means that you are being aggressive, or it is considered to be rude. So and that is you are angry, or you are trying to you are flaming at them or screaming at the recipient. So please avoid that. When you are writing to a single person, okay, one email ID is required. Whereas when you are sending it to the members of the department, of a particular department, or you are sending it to the entire members of the organization, so use reply all. Use reply all. That is, you are replying to the information that was given to you in common. So that is you use a that is reply, not reply all actually. That is the correct email, proper email ID, and reply all. That is, if you want to reply all to it, if their email requires or if it demands a reply from you to all the persons, you have to reply. Otherwise, if it is to one person, means you need not, it can be sent to that particular whoever it is meant for. Then you have the BCC and CC options. So what exactly is the CC option, and what is that? What exactly is the BCC option? So use it judiciously. So CC means carbon copy. So each recipient will be able to see the uh, the list of all. So you are sending it to 5 people. So each member or each recipient will be able to see that the invite or the names of the all the members, all the 5 other members, right? So that is, you want to send, you want, that is, instead of sending it separately, you are sending it to all the persons in the group. Or if there are 5 members, all the 5 members are included. All the 5 email IDs are included, and that is being sent. So the purpose is, you want to send an email to someone without addressing them personally. That's the purpose. And BCC means blind carbon copy. That is sending an email, that is you're sending it to multiple recipients, but each recipient will not be able to see to whom others, or who are the other members in the group, or to who are the other recipients also. It can be sent. So when you mention, or when it is BCC, the other members are not capable, the members in the group, or to whomever you have sent it, they will not be able to see. If it is CC, means they will be able to see that there are others also, or 5 others also, or this mail was meant to 5 others also. That is the peculiarity of sending this BCC and CC, using the CC and BCC option. So use it judiciously. So if you do not want the other members to know who all it has been sent, use the BCC option, blind carbon copy option. So if you want to know that whomever has been sent, and you want to let them know also about the other members who are present, or to whom you have sent, you can use the CC option. So it is necessary that you should know to whom it has to be sent. So it need not be sent to a person who doesn't require it. That is what I'm saying. So it should be sent to somebody who requires it, or somebody who really needs it. So not all members require that, or not all members need to know that also. So it can be something which is happening in a particular department, or it can be with regard to. So the earlier example which I told you, where the manager wants to know that, okay, would like to know his employees that they are starting at that is, the work schedule has changed, and they will be starting or there is a change in the timing of the organization. So if you want to know, if the manager wants to know, so that is something which all the members should know, or all the department should come to know. So it has to be sent, it can be sent to all the members. Whereas there is a small internal meeting with that particular department alone. It can be the marketing department, or it can be the operations one. It can be with the finance team. So if such is the case, your email can be restricted to those members alone. So great care has to be taken while writing the salutation, or addressing, then subscribing, all those things, or mentioning the subscription also. That is with regard to email etiquette. So the correspondence, or this is one of the crucial forms of correspondence, and that is, do not forward anything which is irrelevant or out of context. So use only those information that is relevant and to the context. That is another thing which you need to follow. So while that is when you start working, this is something nobody would tell you this. So it is necessary that you are expected to write. Whatever your role in the or whatever your position in the organization be, please understand that you are expected to write, or you are expected to correspond with the members. So your audience can be anyone. It can be either internal colleagues, it can be the suppliers, it can be the government organizations, it can be the customers. So dealing with, it can be anyone who is dealing with you on a day-to-day basis, or they deal with, or that is with respect to your work. You are familiar to them. So whoever be that person, it is necessary that it is necessary that that is all the skills, that is all the things that we have discussed now is of equal importance, irrespective of whom you are dealing with. So be formal in the in communicating. So in business writing, as I told you, the importance of communication is critical. Right. So the business inputs or the whole business cycle. So as I told, that is, it can win a business. It can it can bring in business. At the same time, it can boost the morale of the individuals. At the same time, it is capable of losing the image also. It is capable. That is, it has the capacity to do that. So the organization may lose the image also. So be very that is very that is very that is careful, very diligent while writing business messages. Understand the channel of communication and understand the network of communication. So to whom you are writing. So if you are writing to a superior, is it really necessary? Will it affect your job? Will it affect your responsibility? Will it affect others who are working with you? All these things needs to be taken care of. So, and understanding the soft skill aspect also is necessary in communication. One soft skill aspect is considering the other person, that is writing with the you attitude. That is a basic thing. Then thinking whether it is really required. Then being creative in writing, being very precise, following all these aspects. That is the 7 C's in writing. Why do you write finally? Because there is a need for you to write. So you cannot resist the need. So if there is a need for you to write, please write. It is necessary that you have to communicate, because in written communication, rather than there is spoken word, you become very close. So it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot. So that is, as I told you in the very beginning, that is, it is a way by which you enables you to create an impression. So you get to know the other person better through the written communication also. So remember, so before we conclude, just a recap of whatever we have discussed. Remember that this written communication is crucial. It is a formal, it is very formal, and it acts as a record. So it is the purpose also, the purpose of writing, is it to inform, is it to convey a particular information. That is mostly it is information passing only. Information passing. So is it really critical and crucial? Then remember, whatever you send, there is a cascading of information. So it flows from one top, that is one level to the other also. So you may send something, you may send a mail, or you may send a notice, or you may send a letter, or you may prepare a report. But remember, in business or when you start in organizations, these written form of communication always have a cascading effect also. So that it cascades or it flows down or it flows or it reaches different levels. So there is cascading of information. Hence, it is necessary to be very precise and follow the 7 C's of communication. Then when you do work or when you start working, you need to, there is a need for you to send, or there is a need for you to correspond in order to comply with certain things. So to show that, show the compliance. So you have to pay your tax, then you have to attend to the meeting, or you have to delegate work, or to show that, okay, the weekly, to send the weekly reports, or the status of your work, everything. Or to clarify something, you do not know how to operate the, maybe the email ID that has been given to you, or you do not know how to operate the library resources. So for all this, so in order to comply with your role, it is necessary that you need to communicate. So you cannot skip away from communication. That is what I'm saying. Then be very specific. Remember, finally, that is one thing. Be very specific in what you write. Then readers, for the readers, they judge you by the writing. So people judge you by how you write, the words that you use, the tone that you use, even the punctuation matters there. So it is important, the punctuation. So they also, for example, a semicolon or a dash or even a comma or even a stop or a period, everything matters. Quote, for example, quotation marks, for example, that also matters. So they all communicate. They have, because they are the carriers of tone. They are the carriers of rhythm and intonation in your written language or written material. So make sure that you have a good punctuation, or that is, you follow the punctuation marks also properly. It should be error free. Remember, please, once you send, whether it is an email, or make sure that once you write the email, make sure that you are sending it to the appropriate person. Sometimes maybe there'll be very little difference between the email IDs of two people. So make sure that there's people with the same names. And while working in an organization, they will have a formal email ID. In case you do not have a formal ED, do not use fancy ones. So this I forgot to tell you yesterday also. Even when you are applying or mentioning your email ID in your CVs, it would be better you mention your name and then a Gmail account, rather than having something which is very fancy, like Big Boss 006, like that. Or recently I came across one that is Stinky Jones. So avoid those kind of fancy. Those can be used with your friends, but not in formal context. So have a formal email ID, and especially while in your CV also, it is urgent or immediate that you need to have a Gmail account, which is preceded by your, followed by your name. So your name followed by the gmail.com. That is the most important thing. Do not use fancy email IDs. So and make sure that you're sending it to the right person, and then and read also. Reread, correct the errors if there are any, correct grammatical errors, correct the typing errors, correct the spelling errors, whatever be it, and then send it. So you need not worry about all these things, because these days it is taken care of by the system itself. But still, it is necessary or important that you need to be careful while while expressing yourself in written language. So remember that there are, see, in spoken words means spoken, whatever we say is accompanied by the body language. Verbal communication is always accompanied by the non-verbal communication too. But the that is writing. In writing, it is not in the accompaniment of body language. So that is also that is also there. So in spoken communication, whatever we have to, that is the body language acts as a supplement, or it adds on to this. It complements also. Whatever is being lost by the spoken word is being supplemented by the uh, non-verbal or body language, non-verbal aspects of language. But here in written, it is devoid of all these things. Hence, your language should be accurate. So more pain should be taken to express all these things. The right word. Otherwise, it can change the meaning of what you are planning to convey. So use plain English, and then that is, and again, do not translate it from your native language or mother tongue and then use. So use appropriate language. Then do not make your make the message overcomplicated or sound overcomplicated, or do not use incorrect messages also. So be very focused on the specific words rather than the overall meaning. Then always understand the end result. What is the end purpose? Okay, so business writing mistakes. So there are so many. So if there are mistakes, so it will be so confusing. People can misinterpret it, and you will lose your work also. You will sometimes it may use the trust of the customers. You may lose your work. It may finally you may lose the goodwill also. So always remember, it is important to communicate properly by following or adhering to and understanding the communication channel, communication network in an organization, and at the same time by understanding what is that is what you're intending to say. So finally, to wrap up, they using the right words, the layout, whatever the layout is, using the font size while writing the emails, using the correct font size. Then I hope you remember, no colors, no font that is change in font colors. Then no capitalization is required. Do not sound arrogant. Use plain words. Use the adequate punctuation. Then address the person also carefully. Use a salutation. So some student, that is, there are people who send without any salutation, without any subscription also, any subscription. They just send it as it, because for them, they don't have time, right? So this happens. So be very formal. So because that speaks a lot to you. That also shows that you care for the other person. You respect for the other person. It's a matter, it's something which it's a sign of respect. So please understand that, and then avoid avoid words that sounds or that will intimidate the other person. Then avoid jargons which the person cannot comprehend, and write from their perspective. That is, use the you attitude. Be empathetic with them. Be empathetic with them, or that empathetic tone should be there, and be proactive also. So you receive a mail, you may be very busy, but it is necessary that you reply to that prompt replies. It is not that you reply to them after 1 month or 2 months. No, it is because for them, they wanted to know something, right? So they are seeking, they are asking your help, so that you can provide with the adequate information. So it is your responsibility to reply within the required time. Do not delay your communication. Do not delay your communication. So because that shows, so if you are prompt in replying, that again shows that you respect the other persons, you respect and value their time also. That's all. So with that, we come to the close of that is the workplace correspondence. Workplace correspondence. And let's move on to the soft skill aspect. So that was the Eat the Frog section, which was most important. So writing, so gradually, so you can start writing. Maybe so there will be hiccups while writing. So there, or you may procrastinate writing. So it is better to learn this, learn to write, or learn to write emails at least, where you can be more formal. Yeah, let me share the next one. That was correspondence at work. One second. Hope the screen is visible to you now. Regarding that is, so we dealt with this one that is yesterday. So this is an extension of the skills that is the soft skill aspect of it. Employability skills. So the most crucial skill which is required is in an organization is your communication skill. So you'd have by now known the importance of written communication in the workplace. So apart from written communication, your spoken communication or verbal communication skills also matter. So it is through your skill communication that you express that you are empathetic, express your assertiveness, you clarify something, right? You ask questions and clarify. You listen to people, you try to understand, comprehend what they're saying, then you interpret things. You persuade people, you help them to take action. You share information. Sharing information is there. You propose ideas. All this is part of communication. So in this unit, we'll be dealing with the different types of employability skills. What are employability skills? How important these skills are. So I don't have to tell you the importance of communication skills. What is the role of being punctual? What is the role of being that is good at your time management skills? What is that is the importance of being very prompt? What is the importance of being answering promptly? What is the importance of teamwork? What is the importance of valuing somebody else's time? What is the importance of open communication? What is the importance of correct decision making, prompt decision making? What is the role of empowering yourself through learning? So all this finally leads to your EQ. So the other day we discussed about your intelligence quotient as well as emotional quotient. So here it is employment quotient. So it makes you employable and at the same time it develops or raises your employment quotient. So what exactly is that? So when you start working, so it is not so people expect at the workplace, the organization expects or it demands certain things from you. So that is in schools and colleges. So that is, for example, in the US, before they apply for the college, they will have to pass the college readiness test. So are they really prepared for are they ready to undertake a college program? So there are different kinds of tests which shows or which test their eligibility or their readiness to that college program. Similarly, understand that the employers also, they know or they demand a kind of readiness from the candidate. Are you ready to work, willing to work, and are you ready to work? That readiness, that is the placement readiness. So before you start applying for a job itself, you should know, am I placement ready? So that I can start applying for jobs. If you feel that, okay, so what are the things that you need to have for yourself? Okay, do I have a CV? Do I have a good CV? What are my academic qualifications? So when you apply for a job itself, it may be your kind of job, but are you the right kind of candidate that they are looking at? They'll be looking for certain candidates, certain qualities in a candidate. So the company, you may like the company. You may wish to apply for that company. That is from our perspective. Okay, that is a dream company. That is an MNC. They have these many centers or these many branches. So I can work in the metros. They have, the perks are many. The incentives are many. The package is also quite good. So I look into these aspects. So everything sounds good. Everything sounds well. But on the other aspect, are you their kind of person? Are you the kind of person that they are looking for? You need to ask yourself before applying for any job. So the readiness, I was talking about the readiness. Are you ready to take up the job? Are you ready to be placed? Are you ready to are you willing to take the responsibilities associated with your job profile, work profile? So it goes beyond having a degree in your subject and having only specific job skills or non-transferable skills. So companies, they want transferable skills, and transferable skills are your soft skills. Do I have the adequate amount of soft skills? It is not that work alone. You may be perfect, or you may be an excellent person while you are working on your own. But are you capable of working with others also? Are you able to meet deadlines? Are you a sensitive person? When you confront with problems, do you run away from problems or do you face those problems? That is what they're looking at. So do I have those kind of transferable skills? So my ability to transform information or communication skill, it get passed on. The others understand what I am saying. As a result, there is an action. There is an action from their side. So I can make things happen. Right? They are called the transferable skills. So it is these transferable skills that employers are looking for these days. Do I possess that? So these are some of the skills that the employers look for. Communication, self-management, so look at that. That's also of top priority. Taking initiative, enterprise, openness to learning, problem solving, using technology, using time, that is team playing skills, ability to work in teams, openness to learning, your ability to solve problems, your planning and organizing skills, your using of technology, so team working skills. So working effectively with people of different ages, diverse groups, I told you, people of different race, people of different, that is gender, religion, even political aspects. That is different political viewpoints. Then identifying the, so once you start working in groups or working in teams, what happens? You will have to understand the strength of that particular group or particular team. That is, it is recognizing your own strength as well as the strength of others, strength of your team members. That is, what are they good at? What are their limitations? So for that, you need to understand your team, understand your strengths and weaknesses first. What are the roles? What is the kind of style, preferred style of working? It is better to know that too. Then coaching, mentoring, and motivating. So seniors, they always mentor others, they coach others, they train others. So all this happens only with teamwork. So the way you accept the person, that's important. Accept the members of your group, that is also important. So once there is acceptance, once there is an understanding, you will be able to know that, okay, you can collaborate, you can cooperate, you can support one another. That's the importance of teamwork. Problem solving skills. So am I in a position to analyze facts? What are the underlying, that is basic problems, that is underlying facts? What are the basic problems? Defining the problems, understanding the contributing factors. What are the factors that are responsible for this problem? Identifying them. Showing initiative. Sometimes you'll have to solve problems independently. So the attempts that you take at solving problems independently, as well as sometimes in teams. So once you start solving it independently, you can move on to the next level of maybe taking it that is working on together teams. What strategies will I apply? The strategies applied while while solving a problem. And what are the options? So trying to gauge or understand the level of these kind of that is solutions. Is it feasible in such a situation? All this is required. And the decisions that you take should be realistic too. Then that is how there will be sometimes there will be customer concerns. There might be complex issues existing in an organization. Then implementing and monitoring the solutions. So it is not implementation alone. Once you implement the solutions, you have to take a feedback. You have to constantly monitor them. You have to constantly evaluate also. Then only you'll be able to know whether it is successful or not, or what the outcomes are. So these are all aspects of problem solving skills. Then you have the taking initiative. Being proactive and taking initiative. So when you take initiative, what happens is you try to identify the opportunities. What are the customer requirements? What are the client requirements? What are the goals? What goals am I supposed to achieve? Being creative in your approach. What ideas are you initiating? What solutions are you providing? And translating these ideas into action, or listing out these ideas into action. So whatever so it can be in the marketing or selling of a product or a service even. So being proactive, be taking initiative, and that is it requires the enterprise skills. Skill of enterprise, taking initiative, taking roles, taking that is being proactive and leading sometimes. So without so when you lead or when you take a proactive approach, so you have some clarity on how to do things. That is what is important. The clarity with which you do things matters a lot. Planning and organizational skills, all these are important. So then self-management skill, which is important, that is you know what your strengths are, you know what your limitations are, you know when to articulate your ideas, you have knowledge and confidence in your own set of values, your own set of ideas. Being able to evaluate the performance of others also. As you evaluate your performance, you should be capable of evaluating the performance of others too. So thus self-management skills are also critical. Then it is an understanding of yourself which helps you to work under pressure. Then again, self-management skills will help you to be resilient. Resilient means the ability to withstand pressure and the capability to move on. So when you have difficulties, it is not that you whine, or it is not that you complain. You understand that is part of your job. When you accept responsibilities, obviously there will be problems. So understanding that these problems are part of your work, and you will find your own ways of managing them and become resilient, or you move forward rather than stepping back. That is what resilient is, the power to withstand everything, the power to manage everything. So demonstrating resilience, then planning resources, using those resources, all those are important. Then the next one is managing time. How do I use my time? Do I value time? Understanding what are the activities that are important for me and spending time accordingly. Meeting deadlines properly. Reporting the progress of customers. Coordinating tasks, managing people, all these are part of your responsibility. Taking initiative, being resourceful. And finally comes the learning skills. So learning skills, that is, you learn something and you share the knowledge with others. You share the experience also with others. So how am I as a learner contributing to the society or the community or at the workplace? So you can use a wide medium or mediums to learn. So you can you can be mentored, or you can take the peer support, or you can use your network abilities, networking skills. You can use information technology, do courses, whatever be it. It is necessary that you are a constant learner. You learn continuously. Have that enthusiasm for ongoing learning. Be open to change. Have the right attitude to change. Being physically, that is physically also you're fit. Being physically fit is also important. So that is for every year the skill report comes out, and the employers pose this as a problem. So they say that only 40% of the workforce has been found to be employable. So what happened to the rest? So the employment and the employability quotient that people have is less. That is what we need to understand from this one. These figures. So why is it low? So how can we improve that? The employability scale or the employability figures. So these are certain attributes which you'll be able to demonstrate when you go for the interview. When you attend an interview, see, people do not ask for your, they do not try to measure your confidence or your, for that matter, anything. But how there are certain aspects which they measure too. Your ability to perform in a group. So you will be asked questions which reflects or the reflections which tells about your own experiences. So it reveals your personal qualities and your value systems. So what are the personal attributes that are being counted? One is enthusiasm, the energy, enthusiasm and the determination to work. Humility and honesty go together. Dedication, being prompt and being punctual. The commitment that you show. This level of sincerity which you show. All these are important. How to raise your employability quotient. So taking part in extracurricular activities, participating in co-curricular and extracurricular activities, keeping in touch with your college, or maybe every college has a placement cell. Keeping in touch with them, and let them know that these are the additions that you have had over a period of time. Then attending the areas attending and gaining more information or knowledge about the areas that you know or which you are learning currently. Taking part in volunteer efforts, volunteering for some community activity in your neighborhood, then recording everything, because maybe after 4 or 5 years you may forget, or maybe while you are sending it for for a job, you may not remember everything. So keep a list and keep track of everything that you have done. So the records, projects that you have done in both inside and outside the college also matters. So while networking, that is, you can develop you can associate with others. So that also is a platform for your learning. Volunteer to that is what so volunteer work, then there is giving information in the networks. So moving on to the next one. Enrolling for online courses. So it is actually building on to the skills you have. So right now, if you have started preparing your CV, or if you have your CV with you, you know these are the information, or this is the information which I have placed in my CV. So is that adequate? Ask yourself. Is it adequate? So if it is not adequate, add on to it. So what will I add on? It can be about your skills, it can be your extracurricular activities, it can be related to your participations, your interest in activities, your interest in sports, then reading beyond the curriculum. So you need to interact with people, understand how people conduct themselves, seek internships and work-based experiential learning opportunities whenever you can. So whatever opportunities that comes your way, do not miss it. Or else, if you feel that there is an inadequacy of all these things, you yourself go out, move out from your comfort zone and start searching for it. Searching for opportunities. So search for opportunities, and then there is gain knowledge, and then once you complete that, you need to have the certificate also, because that is a proof of it. Otherwise, nobody is going to believe you. So adding on to your, say, once you have decided to participate in a job that is selection process, you should have make all the preparations. So so even if it is not too late, so you can start thinking about it and make the required preparations. So it's a step-by-step process, and gradually start proceeding towards it. So one is taking stock of the skills. Before that, I would say it is actually matching your goals. So you have your own aims, you have your own aspirations that nobody else would know. So am I really working and matching and imbibing skills for myself? Do I have the required skills? What is that the company seeks from me? What are the skills that they are looking for this particular job? Are they that is it is my experience, or whatever projects, or the simple that is the simple, or the maybe you may not have a job experience, but is the project experience adequate? Will I be able to mention about that in this particular one? So talk to people, that is another thing. So use your networking skills. So for that, you should focus, you should display your right skills. So when you start working for an internship itself with the right skill, people will start accepting you. It is necessary that you that is have a stock of your, that is take a stock of your skill sets. Then whichever skills that you do not have, or you which feel that okay, it is not adequate, try to build upon it. try to improve upon it. If it is spoken communication, fine. That's one thing, something which is very crucial. So tomorrow when I attend an interview, am I able to express myself completely? So if you feel that your ability to communicate is not that adequate, start training yourself. Start working on that, and because that is the most important thing that needs to be developed. So having recognized that it is the most important thing, you need to find ways of improving it. Then you cannot blame anyone or even that. So once you have these things ready, that is the skills ready, then again your skills in technology, using technology. That is your ICT skills. Is it adequate? Your written communication skills. Join some online course and work on it. So always understand that okay, it is high time that you take a that is understand the importance of these skills and then start building upon them one by one. Give a gap for yourself for maybe a couple of months and take a stock of all these things and try to imbibe the necessary skill within a specified time. Having a research perspective. See, some of you may not have enough project experience or some of maybe extracurricular activities. For them, the best thing to showcase your ability is through your highlighting your highlighting your research skills. So research skills in the sense because so here it is not related to this one, that is developing your research, analyzing and research skills, because these are the people who are sought after. Then another thing, the same is applicable when you start working also. Research about the company, research about the different branches. Research about prospective employers on the internet or talk to people. So join these professional organizations, be a member, participate in the activities, start networking. So they will help you, people will help you. So you will come across mentors also, you will come across coaches also who can coach you and train you and make you a better individual or make you confident of facing the world. Gather information from your seniors and other contacts who are working for larger organization. So in that way, it helps. Research about the company, research about the opportunities, research about the research about the people or the different the structure. What is the mission of the company? What is the vision? What are the latest? Was the company in news very recently? If no, if you say yes, what is it? What are the ways by which? So then, what are the one crucial thing? What is the salary or the package? So before the interview, they always tell the salary or the package that you're going to get. And in case you're not, in case you do not know or you are not being told, and during the interview, if they ask you, okay, what is your expected salary? You can say that it is according to the whatever is available according to the industry standards you are willing to accept. That is what happens. So it's a realistic expectation. package. And then at the end of the interview, they will ask you, do you have any questions? What questions do you ask? So you can ask them what will be your immediate project. What will be your immediate project? So when can I? That is, sometimes they may even, that is, you can even ask, okay, when you are expected to join, what would be your immediate project, or what is the immediate task that you are expected to do? So researching about the company will show that you are interested in the company. You have done the groundwork, so that shows that you are ready to work there. That shows your so if you know about the numbers, if you know about the people, if you know about the different kind of branches, their products, services, everything, so they would also, or the kind of technology that uses that it uses, all these things. And if the company is in latest new, that is in the news for anything good, all those things matters a lot, so that you can make an impression. So it is the preparation. So remember, you cannot go offhand and present yourself before the interviewer. Then brush up whatever you have studied, at least the basics. You can expect, so don't remember, or don't be under the fact that they will not ask you any subject related questions or content related questions. See, as a student, you are expected to, or as a student with a basic degree, or that the degree that you carry, you are expected to know the basics of it, or the fundamentals of it. So there is no reason, or there is no excuse which keeps you away from saying that, okay, you do not know. You are expected to know the basics. So, and then you may ask me, so what if I do not know the answers? So the interviewers also don't expect you to answer everything, or they don't expect you to know everything, but they expect you to know the basics. And there are a few questions sometimes you do not know. You can say sorry. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recollect it, or I have learnt it, or I have heard about it. But this should not be. It is necessary, or you can say maybe once or twice, not more than that. Not more than that, please. So the preparation from your end is going to be very crucial. So these days of classes that you had would help you know, or let you know where you stand in terms of your employment skills. If you feel that, okay, you are not adequate in that, you may try to develop those areas which we discussed. So if you feel that, okay, you are not proactive enough, so that comes with a change in attitude. You need to change that attitude gradually. If you feel that, okay, you are not good in your mathematical skills, if you feel that you are not adequate, or your ICT skills are not that good, practice, enroll for a certificate course and practice that particular required skill, because that is important. Without that, you cannot survive. Basic communication skills. Again, if you feel that it is inadequate, again try to improve upon it. Your ability to manage stress, that is also important. You are too confused. So why is it that you are getting stressed out every time? You're not able to manage your stress. You get panic attacks. You sometimes become very quiet and stress due to stress, and that is due to intense stress. So how can you? There are ways to minimize it. There are ways to alleviate stress. Am I doing that? So seek help for those things, and then and if you feel that, okay, you don't have a CV, prepare a good CV, a CV that is marketable. So CV is the CV that you have is like a brochure. It is your brochure. It is a marketing tool for you to sell yourself, market yourself. So it speaks about what all qualities that particular Mr. X, Mr. Ms. Y is capable of. Or it shows or showcases this is what you are as a product. This is what you are good at. These are the features that you have. These are the benefits that you carry. Please understand that. So you have a good CV, prepare a good CV rather than a genuine one. And then make adequate or prepare adequately for the interview also. Read, be aware of what is happening in the current. Whatever is happening around you, be aware of it and then speak with an open minded. That is what people want. That is what is required. So thus we come to the end of the employability skill section also. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Is any questions?
Ma'am, till now no questions are there.
Okay.
But their review is there that they have liked the class and then Cambridge is doing good things for helping us. All the published, I have published all the comment on the public section.
Okay, okay. Okay, I get another question. I'm happy to see a question from Abhijit again. So good afternoon, Abhijit. So Abhijit has asked, please give example of chain and wheel network. So are these two, chain and wheel networks, part of formal communication network? Of course, they are part of formal. That is, these are the networks which exist within an organization. So depending on the kind of communication activity which happens in that organization, we have this chain as chain as well as what do you call this wheel network. So wheel network means usually this is the form, that is if the leader is capable, we have the wheel network. So wheel means it has spokes, right? So all the other employees act as spoke with the leader with the leader at the center. So the leader at the center communicates to all the other members. It can be the different departments or the department heads or supervisors or employees or the executives or the executives. So there is to and fro communication. Easy flow of communication is there if it is a wheel network. So the manager communicates. Similarly, the others reciprocate also. In that way, that wheel communication or that wheel structure is positive, or it brings in it's beneficial, we can say that. So it is a formal communication network which exists. So depending on organizations or the level of organizations, these different communication channels and networks definitely exist in an organization. Chain network means it is only a circle, that is chain, that is in a chain means, sorry, it passes, that is it is connected. So though it is interconnected, it is almost like an usually it is only vertical communication that it takes place. So bottom that is towards the that is Upward communication happens frequently. Sorry, the other one, downward communication happens. Chain network means downward communication happens frequently. Upward communication may be due to hierarchy, maybe less. So I am only an executive working in an organization. So I do not know how to communicate to my CEO, or I do not know. I fear to communicate due to because there are why because due to the organizational barriers we may fear communicating. That's also there. So I may communicate. I may even have difficulty in communicating to the manager. Manager there. So I do not know whether it will be wrong or it will be good enough to say something. So whatever comes from top to down, that is being accepted and we follow that. But depending on the hierarchy only, we communicate from bottom to up. And chain communication means usually it is one way. Not usually, majority it is one way. And that is when it passes down from one level to the other, there might be certain confusions. But it will be taken care of by the written form of communication. See, if it is an important meeting or the annual general meeting of the organization, it is held at the headquarters. Obviously, the message comes through the chain. But there is no question of doubts or confusion there because it is a written communication and it will be very clear also. So the confusion will be there, but less. So chain communication also exists, and it is a part of that is top to the lower levels. So messages usually flows from the top to the bottom. Hope I have made it clear, Abhijit. One second. Okay. What if we are a fresher? Then what should be filled in the CV? Okay. As an interviewer, the interviewer very well knows that okay, you are a fresher, because freshers can also apply. But what is expected of a fresher? You are proactive nature. So these days, what students show is, see, competition is so high that we do not that is we cannot say that okay, I did not get an opportunity. In whatever ways by which you can imbibe or add on to your skills, that we should look for opportunities like that, right? Whatever you learn, that is whatever you learn is important. So 3 years I've spent. So what did I learn? So apart from my graduation, or apart from the topics or courses in graduation, subjects in graduation, I have done so too because I am interested in pursuing a master's in this one. So for that, I am pursuing this course, or I have to pursue 2 certificate courses in this one. I feel that my language is poor or my written communications are poor. So I enrolled myself to a course in which enhances my written communication, and I have got this. So all these are additions. So that does not bring harm to your CV at all. So rather than making your CV plain, do something good. Okay, this is what I did. Or I had a vacation. I had a summer vacation of 1 month, or during my during the winter break, or during December I had a gap, or I got an opportunity to work or be an intern. This is what I did during my internship. Or I got an opportunity with my professor to make a presentation. So I did a research. So I helped the professor with the research work, and this is what I published a work. So whatever is related to the with respect to, so whatever things that you add on should be related to the career that you're going to pursue. Right? So you feel that there are certain incompetencies. So how would you manage that? Because these days there are so many, there are so many who add on with a lot, come up with a lot of credentials. It can be even playing a sport. So how would you validate that? I was not interested in playing sports at all. I, so regarding, okay, Abhijit is asking, okay, how to connect. I have a LinkedIn ID. So as a, see, whatever be a freshie, see, it is only when we talk to people. So these days students, they make use of every opportunities that are available to them. So whatever is new to you, you may make use of it, and then that's the importance of networking also. That's the importance of networking. So do not feel bad that okay, your CV doesn't have any that is enough competencies. Add on to it gradually. Add on to it. Look for opportunities or look for ways by which you can add on to the CV. There are immense courses available. That is one way. There are project opportunities are there. Government related projects are there. You can take part in that because see everything requires an extra effort from your end. And it is when you search that okay, at one search you may not be able to get all these. It is only after a lot of searches, lot of interactions that you get to know. So thus we come to the end of the session. So there are no more questions. I hope I have answered Abhijit's question. So at least see, this was helpful in making you think, right? So understand that this is how the job market or getting placed is not an easy task. So we need to be ready or equip ourselves with certain skills in order to be not all skills, but at least the basic level of skills should be there. And that is how you equip yourself. And again, you may not be able to, that is, you may not be winning always. But once you put your effort, whatever is required, okay, I have taken my effort, I have done all this background work, and then I am placing myself before an interview board or for a job. So at that time, you will be willing to accept the failure also.
By 3:30, we have another session. So
Yes.
can we continue this session or can we end the session for this?
We can end so much. So there are no questions. So
no, ma'am. All the question has been answered only.
Answered. So thank you so much, students. So all the very best. So if you want any help, you can ask me. I'll be free to that is help you out. Then thank you, Kunal. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, ma'am, for a lovely session, ma'am. And so, thank you, students, for joining us. With wait and stay tuned for the next session, which will be start by 3:30, and that will be the last session for us. Today, we are ending this session for the skill training classes, and hope you like this session and wait for the further notification and the communication from the institute side. So stay tuned till that. Thank you.
Thank you all.